think we're live on here too. Aloha, peeps. How's it going? Nice to see ya. Welcome. We're just giving you a look into our program right now. We're on the spine today. What is this, day 5? So yeah, we couldn't do a Release Sundays live, but we thought we'd give you a little look into our program and what we're doing and how it works for us as practitioners as we're going through some of the material. Share some of the information, just a little look in before we get started on our hands-on application. I'm just doing the demonstration of the spine sequence, but just wanted to give you a little look in, touch base for Sunday, say sorry we couldn't do the Release Sundays live, but we have some good shows coming after the program finishes. And until then, we're deep in it, deep in the program, deep in the transformation within ourselves, and learning how to do this for other people to assist in this movement of release. So thanks for coming on. Seeing a few people joining us. Aloha. So, all right, spine sequence. As we said, we're going to warm the spine up. We have a lateral width warming. Then we're going to do the decompression sequence of width. Then we're going to do length. And then we're going to go into the scapular decompression, rhomboids, traps. And from that sequence, we'll complete with the lats on the upper back and body. And the lats, which go down into here, will instantly transit us into the lumbar region, and then the glutes, hip muscles, which are the one area we haven't treated in the legs so far throughout the series. And that'll clear out with the sciatic nerve and the meridian channels both through the lumbar or through the glute, and clearing out the leg. That completes our sequence of the whole circuit, right? Okay. So I'll stay on this side for you guys, angle wise. Going more into the shoulders, you're really gonna see the exposure as this hip wants to come up when we're working on its diagonal opposing movement center. So you're really going to see that cross lateral compression here as we so that's why this is a reference and anchor, so that they're not distorting their posture as we go through this. So as we start, we're going to be planting and pulling off the spine. Okay, we're using our anchor tool and we're tacking away, planting. Now you'll see as I come up here, all right, I'm going to go to this side of the table, and I'm going to go up to the base, and I'm going to anchor in the base. I'm going to use the table to plant my hand, and I have 3 points to anchor from at the base of the skull. The first one is right along the vertebral column, and I'm going to anchor in, steady pressure, not really pushing, just locked and steady. I'm going to grab this shoulder, and I'm actually going to stretch the trap this way, giving it a little jiggle, jiggle. Then I'm going to release, anchor to the second point, which is laterally over, and jiggle. Now, and then the final one will be on the most lateral point. You'll see how I can lock it in. And now I'm just jiggling, stretching it out, pulling, stretching. Now from here, I'm gonna pivot. Huh?
Can you show those points?
I can. We'll look at them on the screen when we're just going through the choreography of it. So then I'm pivoting back now to go back down, and then carry out the rest of the sequence here, coming now farther lateral over than my initial stroke and pattern up. I'm now coming down, I'm sweeping out the edge of the trap here, and then I'm coming through the meat of the rhomboids and trap, and I'm now curving around as I go the scapula, and now up to teres major minor, and I'm finishing anchoring on that point right here, holding, pulling out. Then I'm going to go infraspinatus, supraspinatus. These are the thin muscles on the scapula themselves, clearing those. Then again, I'm higher up off the scapula to be able to sink into that point, teres major minor, where it has its junction right there with the deltoid, and also the trap and the lat. And I'm anchoring, and I'm just staying in that point and letting it drain, which is usually a lot for people to be in. Boom. This is a very tender, it's one of the more worked points we don't realize is there. Is right up here, teres major minor, where the lat comes up and the trap also, they all kind of delta, opposite to the pec, right? And then I'm going to roll to that forearm. The pressure is now lessened, pulling, scooping, clearing out, right? Okay. that is the first sweep of the scapula. From the same position, I just switch sides and I'm doing the opposite. Coming up, I'm doing, instead of where we were right along the spine and having him take deep breaths, now I'm along the spine and I'm pulling off for the first sweep up. Again, coming all the way up, I'm pivoting to the side, working this tissue, then I'm doing just little strips up into the occiput, controlled strips, anchoring here. And I'm also, as I'm doing these, I'm finding my 3 points. The first one being at the base of the cervical vertebrae. Second one's just right over. Third one, more lateral. These are all the points that you guys were locating face up when we were doing the skull and we were doing our pulls and our pivots, remember? Same points for the pulls and pivots. Going to be pretty much the same points right here because they're the same mechanical points we've used. So as I'm anchored on that first one, hands anchored here, I'm going to, again, pull and stretch the trap. By the way, patients really love this one. This one feels really good because you're not pushing hard at the base of the skull. You're just getting a steady pressure, and then it feels really nice if they can let it go to pull that trap. Number 2, I'm going to pull the trap and pull the trap. Is there a reason you keep extending your arm? Mm-mm. Okay. All right, it's just happening? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So see there, he had like a fluxy glitch thing in his arm, and I thought he was trying to manually do it. See, and now I'm pivoting back, okay? See how I'm right back to see all of this. Going down, I'm clearing out the edge of the trap, and then I'm back in the meat of the trapezius, rhomboid, major, minor. You're following right along the scapula. Here I go, and now watch. I go from here, I go from laterally expanding out with this anchored technique, right? So I'm technically strumming and I'm striding. So when I'm going out, but guess what? The trap muscles go this way too. So you can also be going lengthwise as well as out, okay? But from here, I'm now moving around, and look at, I'm doing ones, and I'm pulling up, up for that first anchored point, teres major minor, introducing that point, then I'm back into infraspinatus, supraspinatus, which will be a little challenging to locate because these are thin muscles on the scapula. You want to feel? His are a little bit bigger. Just press into the bone. That's it. Yeah, it's like a...
Getting all of those down.
Yeah, so this scapula has, and if you look, you can see, it's not the best picture. We'll look on our digital for that because it's too tiny. But you have a spine of the scapula. You have this little spinous process. It's like a little ridge. Mm-hmm. And that's actually what the infraspinatus attaches to and the supraspinatus attaches to here. And so you're kind of going on one side of that ridge and the other side to clear that. It's fairly quick, and you're just gonna go on top of it. You're not really gonna, be able to, you're just clearing it, but you're also acknowledging and activating it. And that's when you sink in second time. Teres major minor here. Sometimes I'll rock with that one, rocking and pulling out, clearing, okay. So that brings us to the lats and this beautiful lat decompression that we do using our body mechanics. Now, which side did I lead off last for the scapula? Was this side, right? So this one came second. So that means you notice as I finish this one, I'm right in the position to do the lat next on it, which is great because I don't have to reposition to keep that flipping back and forth to make sure one side isn't leading first. Does that make sense? Nice. Thanks for joining us, a couple people. So as we lengthen the lat here, we have to anchor in. And sometimes I'll start working naturally on the piriformis, the muscles that all attach along the iliac crest, because I'm just below that on the ilium, those first muscles, guys. So that would be, I'm right around 0.2 and 1 for the hip points. And then we don't have a point past here because this is usually face down. But I'm gonna finish, and you'll see on the glute points for the hips, it's in your manual. We have a series of anchored points that you can hit on the glute to really anchor and drain the sciatic. I think this is point 3 that I anchor in and I finally settle on. But I could get as lateral as 0.1 because the goal is I'm now going to, once I'm anchored, I'm now going to move up the lat, finishing up here, putting my hands together. Look at that. I can just push off and it stretches his whole side. Deep breath. And let it go. And I'm rocking, pivoting the elbows, cleanly pulling out. Now that's naturally going to create this length here for them and expose, this feels more collapsed. Straight up, right off the bat. And amazing, again, I don't know anyone that doesn't feel that when you do this. So now, because I am doing this as the second side, this is now going to lead, right? So that's beautiful because I need to be on the opposite side to treat the glute anyways. So, and when I treat the glute, I'm going to go right into the glute sequence after the lat. So as soon as I do that stretch, I'm going to transition right into rocking out the whole glute. You want to flip to the glute in the back.
So the warm-up stretch is here to here, and then that one is...
For the lat stretch. Yeah, anchor points there to here. Spine decompressions are going to be there to there. Yes, they're a more medial stretch where you can see this is a more lateral stretch. All right, so here you can check out, here's the points I mark. And you can see these points, they're generally along the belly of every one of the muscles that make up the glute. Whether it be the gluteus medius, the tensor fasciolata, or the gluteus radius. And the gluteus radius is going to be one of the primary ones that when I'm doing this stretch, that's the one that we're going to be hitting is gluteus radius a lot to anchor in. Because you can see it's right below the iliac crest right there. And so along this radial side or the lateral side, yeah, it's going to be gluteus minimus and gluteus radius for that primary point to anchor between that you'll notice here. Put this here, you can look at those points. All right, here we go. I'm going to find that point that I want to anchor at. Again, my goal is if I'm doing a stretch on the lateral side, I need to get as laterally positioned on the hip as possible to make a very clean line of a stretch. So I'm now coming along the lat, and as I come up, once they're locked in, the two hands go down and come together. Boom, I don't have to do anything with my muscles because it's all the bones creating a leveraged, what was it, like a vice, right? Yeah. And I call this the jaws of life because actually jaws of life, they open like this, the pride corridors open. And exhaling when you're ready. Good. And then I'm pivoting, cleanly pulling out the hands. And from here, I'm going to go, boom, right in, starting with the gluteus radius. If you look at how the muscles fan, I'm going down, still always across and along, okay? And I'm doing basically strips. I'm creating almost like strips, like a seashell, going across, going along and across, casing the whole glute. Good. And then I'm going to finish with my first anchored point. After I've cased the muscle, I'm going to anchor in. And as I anchor into this point, I'm going to support them to try to drop the butt, relax the glute. Most people's glutes will be hardwired frozen. So, but if they can get their glute to relax and you can sink in once, they can do it again. So they have to retrain their glute. And let it fall, dead weight. And there will be degrees. Like I can get into a certain degree, but there's a tension there that he's trying to say let go, and it's just static tension. That's because the glutes and the polyvagal nerve is just clenched and bombarded from fear our whole lives. And letting it fall, very good. And drop, 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 drop. Let that drop down. And dropping. Now, you could have some very extensive glute sessions. Alex will tell you, very emotional. Some people you get in the glutes, they're just weeping. It's a big one. I was kind of surprised on how much memory and emotion for sadness was in the glutes. Fear, yeah, of course, because we're always clenching our butt. And let that fall. There you go. Good. And then as he sinks, I'll rock across and up and down, just rocking, opening that. Gonna do another one. Now after 3 or 4 anchors, I will go back up into the gluteus radius and really start kind of clearing out from the iliac crest, going down. Good. And then I'm gonna do my final glute point. Good, let that fall. And from that deep anchored point, when I'm deep in the glute, the sciatic nerve, I can feel it, I'm on it, it's draining down his leg. He's expressed that I'm on it. Then I'm gonna start my anchor manipulate release with my anchor tool, coming down, clearing the lateral side and out the foot. Boom, okay? So I've now cleared the lateral side, all right? I'm then gonna go to the opposite side of the table, right up to the sit bone. This is our second point to clear this nerve, the nerve channel and meridian system on the inner leg. Boom, now I'm going down. You can feel you're on it because as you go across the sit bone, you're gonna feel yourself strum over the muscle and you'll get a vibrational release. Got it. A lot of people, you can't even get it on. Their butt's just their glutes too locked up. Now I'm clearing that medial channel. Remember, you're going light over the knee. So you gotta, your last one's about right there in the hamstring. You skip over the back of the knee and continue on through the muscle. And out the foot, okay? Now, I've cleared this channel. It's different for him. His glutes lower now. He's feeling all the nerves draining down. The channel's open. They'll always express, whoa, it's so different. Now I'm into the next side. Boom, clearing this, okay? Clearing, starting with that gluteus radius. And then I'll start fanning down, going across and along, across and along the tissue, fanning out to the greater trochanter of the femur, because that's where the muscle's delta to. Clearing the lower side now. And then I'm back up for my anchored points, right? Let that fall. You can do it. Drop it down. Rocking in the socket after he sinks, after he lets me go, and drop it down. See, this one's locked. He wants to drop it more.
I'm not doing it. Yeah, I won't do anything.
See, yeah, it becomes static. It's like, you know, he has no control. And that's very telling for people to be like, oh, I want to let this go. Why won't it listen to me? And your body's like, screw you. Basically, you know.
More accurately, it's because there's no breath there, so this is where the breath is key, and if you do it, that'll really help drop. It's the exhale, most importantly.
It's true, but it's also a sign of how hardwired to static
Correct.
and chaos and strama will actually disconnect you from more control of your body. Like your body's on an autopilot of tension. And so you lose the ability to willingly let something go. We just think we can tell our bodies to do stuff and it'll do stuff. This is a really powerful one where someone's like, I don't get it. Like I'm telling this hip to relax and it's not relaxing. And let it fall all the way down. Good, we're almost at the last of these.
What?
And let it go. Drop that down. Again, like I said, once they get it once, they can do it again. It's very uplifting. It's super inspirational. They're like, oh my gosh, because to witness going from tension to getting it, and the more they can sink in, the more we can drain that sciatic. And you could be sitting here, as long as you want to do these for somebody, I'm just saying, you know, you could drain this sciatic nerve for some time, you know, because it's just static. The extra electricity in it, the extra neurochemical residue. As I finish the sciatic here, I'm again going to complete that now down the lateral side of the leg and out. And then we're going to do the other side, right? Clearing the medial. Boom. Good. And out. Here we go. And coming down. Good. And now from this position, we're back to this leg to lead. These are the final cool downs with the legs that we're talking about. We're going to be rocking with the forearm up to the hamstrings. Now check this. I'm holding on here. I'm now doing my final anchored manipulation releases on the hamstrings. Got 3 strips. That's number 2. Third is medial. And where do I finish? Right at the sit bone. And as I do, and I'm here, I can rock that leg in the socket and just open those up. You see that? See the mechanics here? Okay, then from there, I'm gonna rock back down and finishing the leg. So now we're gonna come back, final one on this side, rocking up, here we go. And middle strip on the hamstring, and rocking, middle strip, medial strip now, and rocking, and I'm coming down. Sometimes I'll do both, and out. From there, rotating both the legs. I'll usually pull from the heels and get that last electromagnetic pulse out. Sometimes hitting the bottom. We're coming into final casing and sweep of the posterior side. Taking our mace tool, we're basically just doing a sweep of the landscape now. Checking where are my scapulas at? Where are the shoulders at? How is the density in the arms? Okay, feels clean, even, everything's feeling pretty even. Okay, now I'm coming up, checking this all the way up to the traps. Sometimes I'll do some extra mace work just at the base of the traps and the skull. And from here, I transition to deportment, wrapping with the knuckles on the head, knocking on heaven's door. And you can see how I'm spinning as I do these. And then again, this is my finish.
You guys see the qigong he's doing?
Yeah,
Heel,
yeah, I noticed
pivot,
that.
yeah.
And so, then I'm gonna finish tapping the base of the skull. Remember I showed you about blowing the energy through this finger. I'll take it and I'll trace that down to the hips and out the legs that way. And then I'll usually go back up to the top, spinning it, and then clearing out what I just cleared. Hand on, grounding, calling in presence, praise, blessings from the divine creator, and letting them know that they completed this process and that this is your final integration now. So I want you to utilize this integration. We reset the whole circuit. Go ahead and flip on over when you're ready. Present with the breath. Remember that every breath is an action. Every action lays new memory. So write a lot of good expanded code in this integration because the whole system is reset, right? And whatever you want to share in reflections to that as they flip over, they go into their integration period. That's why also integrations are great for having quantum tech, right? Because it can enhance these periods when they just had all this done, and they'll go deeper into the theta. So that's why we have the infrared and the sound and, you know what I mean, all those components, very significant. And you want them to be face up as well for their integration. Even if they're passed out, try to bring them back just from being deeply relaxed, which ironically people will. They do get really passed out from this work as they get it more because it's just more relaxing. Anyways, okay, so that's the pattern. We're gonna pair up with each other to finish out. We'll go back through all these sequences in here. I'll get the digitals up, the interactive, 3D programs, so we can look at points that we need to, and I'll keep taking pictures of those to integrate into the manual. Teacher forward. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate you all. That was our spine sequence. We're gonna get into the hands-on. I guess I could bring you guys with. This is our hands-on area over here. See if I can get this set up on this table. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Here. Try it like this. Maybe right there. Cool. How you guys feeling? Is this helpful? Do you enjoy this? Hope you're enjoying this. Nice. What's up, Maddie? Nice to see ya. Have you in here. See if I have it set up good. That's decent. Yeah, let's go. I mean, they can wait, but you know.
Back in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Set the alarm, set the alarm.
Go Paul to space for good vibes. Everyone's taking a little bathroom visit before we get started.
You heard that right? Okay, that is notated, and, okay, so done, and like, portals open, and we're ready to go on that one. I'm glad you asked.
Look at this G right here. Nmrt G. Medi's on there right now. She's watching.
Of course.
That's dope.
Thanks for your support, sister. What'd she say?
Watching with baby. We're having lunch. He just tried to give you some food. Nice. Are you saying that Alex needs to eat? He's eating. He's eating good food right now.
Yeah.
Me and you and I. What's happening here?
Oh no, it's so rock.
Let's see. What was our last pairing?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh,
We need a little like.
Antonio and I.
Right. Antonio, yeah, that was your last one, huh? Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but I
let's
work
have you
with-
guys go
I
to
work-
get,
Yeah.
yeah, let's have you guys pair and then you two pair here, yeah. Whoever wants to go first,
Yeah, I was there.
let's dial in the, yeah. Hang on, let me get you one of these. Everyone just keep track of your here. Everyone just going for it, huh? Everyone keep track of, your one of these, and you can each have your own.
Good there.
All right. Now, you want to do over the sheet, you can. You can also do under the sheet if you want to practice with that, or even halfway through, play with that. Because you will be doing these, especially if someone comes in and they don't have softer clothing to be able to work through, then you're probably gonna have to have them under the sheet. So, and the spine sequence and the anchors are all much easier to do with fabric on top. So it's good to practice this way. You can maybe do one side this way and one side under the sheet, just for some tactile diversity in how you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give context of that. Most of this will be, you want to get comfortable through fabric in general. So it makes a difference with the anchored points along the spine. You want that traction. And also it's it's just comfortable. It will become more and also the sweeps will be very clean. In fact, a lot of times as you're doing them, clothing in general can be. Did you know that? Some sort of repeat loop, doing the same thing over and over. Weird.
Actually, no.
Okay. Well, was that late? Because it seems like people
it
are.
was 12:10.
Okay.
About 40 minutes ago.
Okay, cool. Because it seems to be.
That happens sometimes when you
Can
watch
you
the
guys
live,
see us? Are we good? Like,
so,
live wise, is it doing any loop repeating? Anyone give us a heads up? It is, huh? Oh, that sucks. All right, weird. Yep, it's good, it's all good. Okay, cool. Well, it must have fixed itself. Whatever. We're just gonna shoot a little bit more, let you guys see everybody work on each other. Yeah. So we won't drag this out too much, but I want you to see real people learning this and practicing this. And let me see if I can adjust that up a little bit. There we go. Okay.
Not touching my back. Laying down right now.
Just had to lube up before you went under the sheet. For the stuff that we don't need lube for, we need extra traction.
I'm not moving the traction area to the
She
area.
didn't put it on her
PW.
back.
P-dubs. What?
She didn't put it on her back.
She has it on her arms.
But you're not touching mine.
She's gonna be working down the arms as well. And also, ladies, no bras for this. That's a sports bra. That should be fine. Oh, okay. Really, with the phone? With the phone with you?
I'm
phone.
clearing my baggage on the phone. It's part of the kit. It's with me because it's getting also clearing while I'm getting it.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip this sheet actually around so you don't have those tassels in your way. Makes sense.
Tassels or hassles.
Tassels can be hassles. Okay. Gonna
And that's holding my back.
flip your tassels too. All right, so we're starting with our warm-up sequence, right? Same side of the table for the warm-up. So you're gonna be same side of the table.
I should start on the same side because otherwise we'd be bumping.
Oh, if you guys switch, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start left side. Yeah? Receptive side, connective side. So let's do left side, Rocky, to start. Left side. Left side's fine. So you guys are on the same, so you can switch.
Okay.
Anchoring in with the fist so that at least you're anchored on there so that you can work from here. This also becomes your kind of steady point, so you don't have to just be leaning from here. You can control the pressure that you want to do.
Okay.
Because that's your anchor, your pressure anchor. So, okay. Whoa, right off to the races the wrong way. Let's get dialed. I know. All right, so we're gonna anchor here
Oh, I don't need to
at the
warm it
hip.
up like that.
Well, you're just gonna anchor because watch. Now I can delegate my pressure because I'm
Your
kind of
moving wrist
holding
is
from
broken.
here
Right into
Huh?
right
Your moving
into
wrist
the
is
kneading
broken.
and your 4 strips.
If you're doing
And then
this,
from this,
lower your arm.
you're gonna complete
So
right
again, you're
with the
keeping
mace.
this joint stable.
And then as the mace comes down, then 2 of them will go down.
How's
to
that
clear
difference
out.
Yeah,
feel?
that's good.
Okay, and then come here. I'll show you this. This will be your. I want you to look forward to this event. You go from here, like that.
Okay.
Feels really cool. Here, try.
Okay.
With your fist, and then you just kind of. Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a fun finish?
Yeah, I like it. Flinging that energy around.
What is happening right now?
She's readjusting.
Okay. This one.
She's having a
This
hard
one right here.
I'm shedding,
Most challenging student.
I'm shedding my
Ever.
Lululemon
No,
skin.
this is amazing, sweet
Like-
student.
This is
This
I'm going through a rebirth right now.
Uh-huh.
Shedding my Lululemon
Okay, are
skin.
you hot? Are you, what's
No,
happening?
no, I'm just taking off my, pants.
You taking off your pants?
Yes.
Okay, let me help you.
Oh my gosh! All right,
They're hot.
where you at, buddy? Any confusion of flow navigation? Okay,
Thank
so
you.
straight up,
Yep, to the neck.
goes up to the neck, kind of out a little bit there,
Mm,
and then back down.
back
Next
down.
one.
Okay.
Up
Not into
So
the,
there,
not in the scap.
here.
Ah.
You can do a little bit in there if you want
Okay,
to, for
grab
sure.
some of that.
But the main, it almost looks like an arrow coming up,
Mhm.
boom,
Do you want this?
and back down,
Comfortable?
right? Because
Right.
we're also just, we're warming up the spine to do the first decompression. So all this is gonna get covered in other areas, but if you want to, totally can, okay? Just for yourself, for the clean movement, up, boom,
Back
down like that.
And down
Same
the leg.
for your, and then at the end of it, with the final one,
You're welcome.
from holding here with the,
Feeling my
okay, she's going for it too.
Ruby or
Here we go.
Ruby?
I have to feel what's happening. It's warm.
That's,
Okay.
I like the rest.
Oh, these sheets are warm. Got it.
Is the mat on?
All of the layers.
All layers all together. Got it.
You're
Okay.
trying to settle in there?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The anchor point is exactly where? What's the
So-
location?
From here, final one up, here, down,
He's like
then
this.
it turns into two
Okay.
to clear out, and this is a cool feeling when you like this. Give that a try. Do a couple fists in there, and the transition, you'll feel how that flips it. Yep, good. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Static charge.
And again, route for you goes
Sweep it
up, goes like an arrow. Out,
Static charge.
and then back down.
Release.
That's one.
It's like
exercise.
you're building the
goes kinda
charge,
out
and then
into
as
the
you let go,
trapezoid and back down. That's the
Gotcha.
second one.
Okay.
So that's the movement that you can
Is
make.
this in the right spot? On her butt?
Yeah, that looks
Okay.
good.
similar to
Looks good.
this.
You okay?
Yeah, it's, okay.
See if I can get a cool angle to include Jedi Alex in this too. There's Jedi Alex. There's our practitioners. Super duper.
Martha, Anna
Yes.
Marie texted me, can you just see if it's anything important?
I think it was about the show looping,
Oh, gosh, thank you.
which they already told us that it actually corrected, I guess. Yeah, so we're good on that.
Okay, thank you. And then, just, you're pressing, you wanna lean into it, you know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
see
saying?
what you're saying.
So you're feeling yourself, like you're supposed to be.
Good reminder.
And,
So when you're leaning in, then with these ones, each one you can kind of lean with,
And
to
he's
whatever.
kinda off, he's on my sacrum, he's on that edge here.
It's
He's
like right there is kind of the sweet spot to
Really?
anchor in because you
Well,
want
maybe
to
we should
ultimately
go up.
be securing the hip bone and
Straight
the
up.
hip socket
Yeah,
you're
in
right,
case
right,
they
right.
want to move or wiggle. Or,
So like, yeah,
Then
so you're
you,
going in right in there.
Okay.
and you can use a mace for that one. but
Yeah.
You can also
There's
just
one hip.
use
So you're also
Flat fist?
extending.
flat fist, and then I'll usually turn it this way to anchor. Because then once you see how I can just
Yeah.
pivot that wrist right there, boom, right?
okay.
There you go.
It's really strong this way.
And lean in, not hand pressure, right? I mean, all of you.
Now strong.
Well, immediate learning, Rocky. Way to go.
Like it?
Yeah, instant application.
That even better said.
Right. So now sweep
The
down.
AI versus the IA.
Right.
Way to be the organic difference, brother. I guess you OD in different ways.
Nice. 9 people tuned in, witnessing the magic.
Oh.
All right.
Our class has expanded.
Relax.
Now back. Now this one comes all the way down.
Now you're at the mace tacking. That's the final one. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Like that?
as so you're up already too there.
Just tacked all the way up.
Yeah.
Stretch.
Good. Okay, and you don't have to stretch on the tacking, but you can. Totally cool. And then I'll take one of those. Thanks.
No more.
I'm good. And then you go down, and then it turns to 2 to clear it out, right? That one links up with that one as you get down
When he
there,
gets here,
and then you go down. Exactly.
Like a nice southern girl just leaning in, you know. At the bar.
Like a. Is that better?
And how's your stance? Have you found it? Just push your feet into the ground, wide stance. At me.
I can't really hear you. Sorry.
Nice.
That's because she's not supposed to be talking. She's supposed to be focusing on you releasing her. Unless
She's
she's
trying
got
to-
feedback.
Yeah, she's trying.
Unless
to,
she's got
yeah,
feedback for
she's
you.
trying to help me.
McFly.
Okay, I did all the.
Did you
stroke
you
thing.
got to the kneading? Or I mean to the mace and the
Oh,
tacking?
the mace.
That's the final one, and that's the one that when you come up, then when you come back down, both fists go down and out the leg. All right.
okay, just finish that sequence. Or that-
Okay, so
that
now you're
part.
on to the other side, right?
Okay.
Boom. And then from this side, once you complete it, you'll come back over here to go right into the same side you're doing, so it's leading, right?
Right.
Got it.
Nice. The energy just.
Pretty fancy, bro.
like
Pretty
that.
fancy.
Okay.
Yeah. And already like it's kind of leaning out and dropping. You see the difference?
Well, think of a better word besides fancy.
Dope.
Suave.
Suave. I do not imagine that using salt and isopropyl alcohol
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit in, and
Yeah.
then like a standard smoke pipe cleaner, and
Yeah.
then just like
Shaking.
I don't imagine the abrasiveness of those two as cleaning elements would damage the ivory at all.
Mm.
And they have immense, lickety quick.
Antique ivory, folks. Antique.
Return.
Recycled.
Return to, brand new.
Right.
I was so impressed to find that gem at Pagoda.
The most magical gift, brother.
I got you.
All right, I'm gonna get our digital reference up for you guys.
It's
really good.
Necklace
Yeah.
to match,
Yeah.
maybe. I wonder where it's at. It's all ivory rings, maybe.
You have a kindness to the strong depth you provide, Rocky.
Well, part of that's filling into it, to what you were telling me the other day,
That's right.
right?
Yeah, you did incredible.
Thank you.
I love the elbow scrub, or what are you scrubbing me with?
My fists.
Oh, I like it.
Scrubbing you with my fists.
You know.
I like more of that, the scrub. Especially on the left, it feels incredible. It's so you need 49 minutes of it. Sounds like it.
Yeah, you could really anchor that too.
Anchor a little more?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe
Not too low.
up here more, and then it can kind of push away.
Gotcha.
There, yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we're working on, friends. All these muscles.
Very well, thank you. I'm so settled.
Yeah.
This program's amazing, by the way. You can zoom in. You can strip muscles away if you need to. I'm not going to take that one away because we already stripped it on the other side. You can see that's removed here, but if we wanted to, we could take it out. We could also just make it translucent.
Angela, I like that one.
Where are we at?
About time that's coming up. Okay.
So I'm needing to decompress your spine. Spine decompression.
So you're in the spine decompression. Okay,
Yeah,
so what's the
so-
last side that you just did? Was this
Oh,
one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now you went back to the other side of the table, so you're set up to totally begin
Okay.
on this side.
Oh.
So you're gonna anchor in.
Oh,
Yeah, because think about it. We wanted to do
That's
the
right,
side we
okay.
did second. We want to lead next, right?
okay.
So we're gonna anchor in. Right. See how about right there? If we look, that's anchoring the bone, and that's gonna secure the hip in a comfortable way. It's also, see where that sciatic nerve is right there. We can be draining that sciatic nerve through this sequence. Okay. Now the sciatic nerve is going to be down here. Most of the draining we'll do is later, so you're going to be about right there, just above it. Okay.
I
Which
need to
is
stretch
going
her
to
out
be
first, right?
Piriformis muscle. It's going to be gluteus medius, right in
Okay.
between.
Okay.
So no, you're just going to anchor right
Just
in.
go right in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You've
Cool.
already warmed her up. So you're going to be about anchored right there. Yep. And find your anchor, and then you're going to locate with your hand this point right here, and the other elbow goes right there.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm gonna put this screen a little closer for you guys so you can see it. That helps
Take a deep
you.
breath in.
It's also should be on the screen, but it's not. Let's get it back on the screen.
And exhale when you're ready.
Good, there we go. Now, from that position, good. Did you take her a deep breath? Hold.
Yeah.
So you want her to take it, sip a little more through the mouth.
She did
Hold,
that.
relax holding. And now that's when she's relaxed holding, you're gonna do your little bit of a rocking, crying it
Oh.
off. Yep,
When she's got the breath in?
yep, yep,
Oh,
exactly. Because see, she's expanded, so she's
Okay.
stretching the muscles herself.
okay.
And then as she exhales, you're gonna keep rocking. You kind of rock the body. Except for, you need to keep your weight constant. You're lifting off as you rock. So
That's much better. See,
You
I'll
good?
try it again.
Look good? Or
Yeah, I gotta get
think
Down a
so.
little
Feel like
bit.
you're right along the spine. So that's gonna be about
You're
right
okay
there.
with that again?
For
Oh,
you
so
have
I'll-
bigger
no,
arms.
no, I mean-
You might want to tuck
Can you,
just to be like as far as. Is this as far as your arm tucks? Like that? Yeah, tuck her there.
Yeah.
All right, find it.
Okay.
Okay, and also remember when I said this one gives you steady pressure. If you can get over, if you can get your body over her a little bit more,
Okay.
that'll be steady. And then this one, you're delegating how much you want to go and off with this one.
Okay.
So remember, every time she anchors, where are you at on your breath? Deep breath. So she's taking a deep breath. So come up with her, keeping the contact, and as she holds, relax holding, then you sink down a little bit, and then you do a little bit of your rocking, just like we're prying it off the spine a little bit. Just know with your rocking, it's more from the whole body. You don't want this moving. Ange,
Yes. I was gonna try to reposition my body just as
So-
you're speaking. So.
when you're here and you're locked in here, when I'm rocking, the rocking is actually my whole body. So look at the bottom part of my body. I'm not doing this. That's because I'm making the point of action, the point of
From the heels.
point of contact, the point of action. If I'm anchored here, the rest of my body rocking is actually
Hold
just
the heels
rocking the steady held pressure. Does that make sense? And then as she goes breathless,
Closer.
okay, she's taking a deep breath, good.
Closer.
So I'm rocking, And as she exhales, I'm rocking with her exhale. And then
What's
as
that?
she's breathless, I'm going to maintain my pressure
Deeper?
here.
Yeah.
And look, now I
Like,
could just
like
drag soft
more
on here, which I'm going to.
weight
I'm going to
in,
go
I guess.
soft to the next point where I have her take a deep breath. And hold, and as she relaxes and holds, then I'm
Where's your
going to
breath
sink
rocking?
down with her as she holds, as she relaxes on that breath full. That's when I reintegrate more pressure here and start rocking. Does that make sense?
Where's your where you at in your
Here you
breathing?
go.
It's back to normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, you need to track her breath, because if you get lost when she does an inhale, so you want to be feeling that. Feel when she holds, and you can also be working with her. Go ahead and take that deep breath.
Right.
He was gonna groove down a little bit.
And hold, relax holding, and that relax holding is when this should be in there, sink in a little bit more.
Right on. Yep.
When she exhales, or when she holds and relaxes holding, then you sink in and you're rocking. And remember, the rocking's coming from here, so the whole body is kind of rocking this way, and this should all be kind of like plank, like we're planking almost, okay?
And let your breath out when you're ready.
And when I'm over the body, I like to not have these two the same, because I like to have one tucked and one I'm working with. So one is like a locked anchor, which would be this one. And ideally, it's challenging torso-wise, I know, but ideally, and that's why we have our tables lower, you want to be completely perpendicular and not an angle with this, because that's going to cause more upper body strength needed for you, as opposed to just directly stilting on the bones and using the bones and the skeletal mechanics of you to be in those points, and also be very sensitive and precise in how you go up and down. Look like I'm like a milling machine.
Okay.
A little bit towards the spine.
If they're over here, I have to use more of my muscles of my serratus anterior, my lats to try to
Knees
muscle.
bent, butt back, drop weight, get it.
Get it.
Could be a hip hop track. Knees bent, butt back.
Elbows locked.
So with knees bent, I can't sit over. Does that make sense?
What's a chica pusta?
I can get perpendicular with her with my knees bent.
When
Not
they're
You
much.
can't.
Huh?
You can't is what you're saying.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
I'm not getting there.
Yeah. No.
However you feel grounded.
Same for myself.
What Morgan just said right here is
I
he's
press on the table and I almost dig my toes in, and I almost
You
kind
already
of
know
lean
Morgan.
over if I need to on some
on point
people. Just
system.
for
Okay.
perspective.
Okay.
So you can use the table as leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to stay clear of it. You can actually use it. See, I'm pushing against it with my legs, right?
Yep, so you want to grind it through, and then push away from the spine. You know, lock it in, drop,
There you go.
drop and
That
lock.
looks good.
and
Does that
push
feel a
away.
little bit more
Drop and lock,
comfortable?
drop
It
and
You
does
lock.
to me.
Like that?
Good. You want to be over so that, because you have to do this up and down the spine. It's going to be, you know, it's like planking through all these points. And sometimes people want to take deep breaths and hold and really milk that spine sequence.
Mm.
All right, when you're ready. Let her come up. Will you come up with her and holding, and good. How you doing? Now remember, you're actually to a point now, once you get up mid-thoracic, remember, where you're going to, I like to keep gentle contact, pivot to the head of the table, and you're here.
Okay.
So you should be already pivoted.
Oh,
So
okay.
why don't we start at that point
Okay.
again. No, just keep your elbow, pretend like you're right back where you were.
Okay.
And now you're gonna pivot, pivot, yeah. Uh-huh.
Deep breath.
And this one's here,
I feel it.
exactly.
Huh?
And now you should notice you have more leverage
I
here.
already did.
I still
Oh,
run
you already
your
did?
So then,
and
yeah, on the
over,
exhale,
so then,
oh,
yeah,
and
then
the
you don't
elbow
have to
to the
use
next
as
point.
much body
Okay.
strength, right? Okay.
All
Or
right.
on the inhale.
That's good.
We're getting
And
sick
you're
here.
rocking, and she's exhaling right there.
Inhale.
And then as she's breathless, you're sliding up to the next one. Perfect, nice bony elbow, getting right to where it needs to be. And scoot yourself with it so you're maintaining that perpendicular. Does that
Oh,
make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so gauge your upper body's form, right angles, right angles.
And exhale. So on the exhale, you change.
You can dig in more. On
Okay.
the inhale.
Yeah, and when she's breathless, so rock out the breath with her, and then as she's breathless, slide to your next point.
Lean in with all you
Oh,
got,
okay.
with all that soul,
And deep breath
And
when
deep
she's
breath in.
All of it?
all of it.
Let it settle.
All of it.
Dangerous. Okay.
Good.
job.
Get you rocking.
Scoot back.
I'm pretty resilient.
There
I
you
got
go.
you. I
Perfect.
can hold that. I can hold that. I have to hide
I'm just
it.
getting.
And then you can also let them know exhale when they're ready, because then that lets them feel like whenever they want to,
Yeah.
they won't necessarily do it right away. Sometimes they do, which is fine. It's easy to gauge, and you're rocking good.
You can rock more too.
You can rock more, so she's even telling you, rock more, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you feel that strength to lift off.
Right.
Better?
Yeah, but you lift it
Rock 'em
off.
both.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Anchor is the still.
just lean there.
It is still.
Yes.
Oh,
Through the floor.
Morgan
Yeah, that's
said
through
it
the floor's
earlier.
house. And into the floor.
Your most impactful, graceful,
3 levels
and
deep
rooted performance.
through the earth.
Move from there. Unless you don't want to, of course.
Slide to the next one.
Oh, sorry guys, got to see the ceiling fan for a minute. Super exciting. Trying to get a good position here.
Is it breathing out? You're dropping in with them. They're breathing out. You're dropping with them.
Oh, drop in.
Yeah. Yeah. As they're breathing out, you're.
Oh, I'm
releasing
releasing
it.
too soon is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they're breathing out, you're dropping in with it, right? So breathe in.
There we go.
Because otherwise, then I'm depleting and you're not staying with me.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Or stay with
Nice.
me, right?
Yes.
So don't lose contact. You can keep digging too until like the full.
I'll try
Where you
that.
at?
I'll try that one again then. I let go of her too soon.
Okay, but,
I'm
okay.
good.
Remember, I
You can
pivoted.
move on to
Okay,
the next
good.
one. You can move on to the next
So
one.
we're
I was like here.
Yeah, move on
okay.
to
So
the
that's
next
about C6, C7, which is good. Last one will be about right there on the diagonal, and for that one, you're probably gonna wanna
one. And this
go
one, did you
higher so
pivot
that you can back
or
up enough
move to
to
the
really get that angle like
around the
right
table?
there. So it's kind of an interesting angle to get.
This one or the next one?
Get one of those legs back so your stance so you can lean into it.
Oh.
Exactly.
Anchor and drop
So then you
it.
don't have to use as much of
Anchor,
this,
drop
right?
it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, deep
Deep
breath.
breath. Good. And kind of rock on this
Yeah,
one.
push it.
Rocking. Good. Excellent.
Okay, I don't know if that was a point or not.
Which one? Okay, so Rocky, here we're way over here. So about that point, remember mid-thoracic, you need to pivot. So you should already be pivoted for about right there. Yeah. And that's gonna give you, as an alignment, go ahead and put your
Yes,
elbow right
yes,
there.
that's it.
It's gonna give you a whole other direction to be able to move, and you're now separating out that way, right?
No, you're
Exactly
you're
like
there.
that,
You're
okay?
here.
And that
You're
hand's
not
gonna
getting
be
there. You're here.
there.
Are you
Exactly.
getting here?
I'm there.
And find your
Up
stance
here.
with it so you
Here.
can sink in like this if you need to, exactly. And deep breath.
Breath in.
Okay, so then from there, right? You can do one more like right here, right?
Yes.
Right there. See what she even said.
She said
So
yes,
that's right
okay.
there.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
And as I exhale, that's when you can really dig in more.
Good.
Come in for
Okay,
the
let's do that
landing.
one.
Yep.
Let me see how before I have. Maybe I
I
should
know,
do
yeah,
this.
you gotta just feel it. Yeah, you're not.
What?
Yeah, position yourself.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't positioned yet, sorry.
So right about
Oh,
there.
lower than I thought.
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes I'll even take a knee on this one, just to get the leverage straight in on the trap.
Oftentimes it's much better.
Okay.
You can
And
push
you're gonna rock
more.
like that. There you go. And then as she exhales on this one, all right, you're gonna transition. It's easy, just right to your forearm. Yeah, except for you're too far out.
Okay.
So about right there, and then start rocking on that forearm. Bring it down even. Use more of it. Out this way, and you can go this way and out this way.
Okay.
And now you're gonna switch positions over to where I'm at and do those double fists down. Double mace. And you're just sweeping
That one,
over
yeah,
everything you just
yeah.
did.
That one, like
Along
knuckles
the
are
spine
not
preferably.
turn, you know, the angular
Yeah,
side
think at the
changes.
knuckles between.
So you
Yeah.
can really push like.
And then you're gonna go out that
into the
side.
Are we
table,
going this way or this way?
diagonally.
You can do both.
On that last
Yeah,
Well,
crisscross.
that you just like perpendicular to how the back.
But at least out. Because you're
For
doing
sure,
a
'cause that's where
lateral.
I started.
Exactly. We're
Okay.
going, and
But
then
you're
or out the same way you
just
swept
push
before
more, like,
for the warm ups, right?
that way.
Okay.
And try to really make more of a fist. You're doing one of these. It's gonna be a weaker.
Yeah.
There you go. But use this.
And
Use that. Use that knuckle. Use this part, right?
Oh.
So I'm using the point because it's pointier. That part. There you go. That
Oh,
part.
this part here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Think. Then you feel how it's strong. It should be
Yes.
stronger for your hand too.
Okay.
And then I'll usually hold one at the ankle to keep
Yeah.
it secured, and I'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. Boom. Now we're on to the other side,
Boom.
which you're ironically lined up for, aren't you? Because you're
Now
across.
we're gonna do next.
So now you go boom and boom, right?
7s and
Alright,
9.
Perfect.
All right.
Where are we at?
Just finished up EC6.
So you're about okay. So C6 right here. Okay, so now you're gonna go over about right there, and then the final one Alex and I were just talking about that we get onto a knee for is because you want to go straight down on it, like right there.
Okay.
Okay. And so that first one you could still do kneeling if you need to. It's right here. So we got C6, C7, just above and lateral to it, right on the curve of where the scapula is.
Yeah.
That's that primary crystallization of protein. That one, and then last one right there. Can you tell it's me working on you?
Yeah.
So, and that last one, and then from there, remember you're gonna pivot to the forearm, instantly tool to start separating. Now you're doing your cool down sweep, and you'll quickly transition to double maces, going back down, and then out the leg, boom, right? Okay?
Okay.
And then, look, you're already on this side to start this one,
Nice.
right? Okay?
Groove. Hit the groove. And then hook.
What's she saying?
She's on the outside of my left there.
Okay, so look. Well, you can see more this side. Okay.
Yeah, that's
See
what-
that? You
Nice.
want to be. Here's the spine.
Yes.
You want to be in between there.
Yeah,
So
there.
you're pressing that off. You don't want to be out here, right?
Right.
So use your sweet bony
Yeah,
elbows.
yeah.
Very precise.
Inhale.
Right there. Yep. And
What's
and start
feeling?
feeling with your elbow.
Okay.
Make your elbow your finger. You know what I mean? Like put your presence to the fingertip. Nice one.
I don't know why Angela doesn't do that all the time.
Use the whip. Yeah.
I'm practicing my swivel over her
Yeah.
body right now.
Nice.
Does that feel like
Take it from the hips.
But
take
don't-
it from the hips?
Don't make it upper body, right?
That's what I'm trying not to do.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why
No, I think she's moving her whole body. But I will say this: time with her breath. So when she's up, come up with her good. Keep it contact though. Keep it solid still.
Okay.
Don't be floating. Just
No
be
floating.
like here.
She's floating
When
because
she's
her
going up.
knees.
She's what?
Her knees.
I should
Okay.
be- That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I
Like,
use the
body
table. I lean on the table,
posture.
and I
Okay.
use it as leverage.
Oh.
You know, I do.
Better.
Is that better?
Again, how
And
does
she's
it?
exhaling.
How does
She's
it?
exhaling. You're not synced with the breath. You gotta do
I know, I'm
rocking.
not synced, I'm trying to sync my body
Okay.
with the,
All right.
Yeah, that
So
was
and
great.
then
That's
just keep
the-
doing
the
the breath on
wiggle
that
is when
point.
it's the
Yeah.
muscle, though.
What's that?
That's great.
I'm
too.
trying to
She
figure
goes.
out
She's
my
doing her
wiggle
breath
is
good.
what
That's
the
fine.
muscle
Just
does.
she's gonna keep doing the
Feel
breath,
away,
but
yeah.
you need to sync with one of those like a wave.
I will.
Okay. And now she's in, so you should be rocking as she's held. She's held and relaxed right now. And then as she exhales, continue that rock, helping to rock that out. All right. Where are we at right now?
Sweeping this. This
Sweet.
nerve, right?
Cause you're finishing out.
Right.
Yes,
No.
perfect,
Is that
beautiful.
all right? Okay.
And use them together as you go down. I would easiest because you're hitting the channel is just use both your fists in unison
Okay.
and get down that nerve channel right through there. And just keep following my fingers all the way down the outside, down the outside, down the outside, and straight out. And I'll usually put one fist there when I get down here to secure it, and then I'll do that plant. There you go. Good. Beautiful. So now you're already set up for this side, right?
Remember,
And you're right into
you're
it.
dropping right
I
by
know.
the
We'll be
spine
bumping butts
into
over
the-
You guys are gonna be butt bumping, that's right.
Jumping into your groove.
It's true, you are gonna be butt bumping.
You're dropping right off the
That's
spine
all right.
into the groove.
That's what I am doing, or that's what I should be doing?
You guys are gonna be butt buddies right now, bumping off each other, okay?
Okay.
Butt bumping.
Work
I'm
the
gonna
groove.
win.
You don't know that.
Challenge.
You don't know. Look at, uh-oh. You're firing up.
Challenge accepted.
The Ginger Joker's
No,
gonna
no,
turn
the
on you.
Ginger
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah, they are the hard to get off.
so right here, okay? Now ideally, you just wanna get that elbow back in here.
Yes.
Ideally, you wanna come off one and just gently be able to
I
go
moved
to
up
the next.
one. Yeah, that's where
Okay,
it was.
okay, good. Alright, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on. Okay, now, hold on. I'm gonna boot your butt.
No, you guys could work off each other. You might have
Dude,
some leverage on
dude.
use off each,
Dude,
right?
man, you and I are the same there.
Use each other's polyvagal power activation.
Good lord.
Voltron it out.
The double ender. The double ender.
Red lion, yellow lion,
Cheers, man.
blue lion, activate. Were they all lions in that Voltron? I think they were all
Double
lions.
Yes.
ender
I
technique.
think we could use some tobacco after that Voltron comment.
When you're done laughing.
Just
You
for
can lean
perspective,
into
if you
that
want
more
to see
too.
where you're at and what the structure looks like.
No, oops, you're great.
So you
That's-
wanna
be-
that's-
Here's the hips.
In
You're welcome.
between
Thank
the,
you.
that
Thank you,
erector,
right?
there's
Buttocks,
more of the
see
erector.
buttocks, see the
You wanna
butt,
be
gotta
in
fuck the
between
hips. You work the fuck-
those
you're cool with
vertebral
the fuck
heads
too.
and
That's
that
okay.
rocket.
That
So
needs to
it's
be
like a
on.
crowbar. You really are trying to crowbar that
Yeah.
off, right?
You wanna like
Right.
feel it
Some
peel
of that
off with your
one.
elbow. Like,
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to
Wait,
put
like
it.
sink.
Feel it sink
Okay, I'm
down and
gonna do
peel
some
off with the
breath
elbow. So
Make
kinda
me breath
use the
less.
elbow to peel it off
I
the
am.
bone.
I'm breath
In a
away.
good way or?
There's only the good way when you take the breath away.
Okay. Go ahead and breathe in.
Just giving you visual sight inside. Try to feel what you can see here.
No, I think you're still on the outside of the.
So,
Because you're not. You gotta find the spine. You think my heart erector is the spine.
something like that.
Yeah.
You can. Sometimes you will. Some hers are not bad. You can feel the difference. You should be able to feel that groove. And I want to say, I like where you're at.
Okay.
That you're more
Give
over,
me a grade rating
but
on
you're
that
almost.
technique.
If I were to look at it, you're almost tilted
It was.
overly over
Okay.
instead of straight up and down. Exactly. There you go. Just
Much
keep your.
better.
See, and that'll
Much
affect how
better,
what she
either
feels
way.
too.
Okay.
It'll affect your
Good.
accuracy too of being on point.
Yep,
Okay.
right over.
And also, I'm gonna give you some more help. Go a little bit over here, and then you won't be leaning so much on her hip. You'll be straight up and down. That'll help you get a little more leverage there.
Okay.
Good.
Take a breath in.
Aren't these guys doing so good? Now, you're almost to the point, Rocky, to transition to the head of the table, right?
I thought it was higher.
You could have acted more, but that's cool.
You tell. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, from right about there, you'll notice. As soon as you start noticing that this arm is, you can't
Well,
really
this is
be
the one
up
I
on
can
because
do.
you're almost over here because of where you're at.
because it's up.
Then you
yeah.
can't get that balanced neutral leverage and anchor. Then you need to transition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes good sense.
Okay.
When you're ready, deep breath in.
Nice one. Angela's transitioned. Not in that one way. She's transitioned to be a neuromuscular therapy practitioner. Her pronouns are still her,
One. Her pronouns are one.
or one.
One.
Juan, as in like Juan.
Like Juan Quixote.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Keep going.
Sorry.
Her pronouns are
Let me get out
Jedi.
again.
All. Her pronouns are all. Like it's
Yeah,
children,
you can do a
not
little
tight.
more wiggly. Like when
Well-
I'm waiting, it's like I'm waiting for a
Now
little
remember
more
from
wiggly.
these, your rocking's
So,
gonna
yeah,
go
and
this
I'm trying
way
to get
out,
my-
right?
You're doing great.
But just a little nudgy
Yeah.
nudge.
Try not to use my upper body.
Because we're gonna
which
do
I'm
that
using.
one thing you just did, that
Oh.
strum.
Yeah,
That's gonna
I'm
be
trying to
another
use
your
one.
whole
This one
body
we wanna
now.
just
You can use
we just
your whole
wanna-
body.
Okay.
separate. You know, I'm just doing a little. I'm
do it
using my
again.
fingers to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's just
Or
because your
whatever
elbow's in there
feels-
helping.
Okay,
Cause, you know, the Vatican, but the Vatican.
gotcha. Deep breath in when you're ready.
All right, I love you guys. Thanks for joining us for this.
Yeah,
Aren't these guys awesome? Give them a round of applause. We can't hear you, but you know. Yeah, we're gonna keep at it. We got still a long day ahead getting into this stuff, but glad to share a little bit with you all, and yeah, have you check out what we're doing and some of what these programs are about. Lots of hands-on, but also lots of details,
Just drop into
specifics,
the
getting really precise in what we're doing.
Yeah, so like.
So yeah, so stoked and glad to share some of that learning energy. Glad to have you in here, Maddie. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. All right, aloha and satnam.
You're separating